Hi and welcome back. So in this video we will be start learning about the HTML forms. So this topic like the HTML forms will take several videos. So yeah, those videos are upcoming. But in this video we will have the basic overview of the HTML forms and how they look and how we can just create a basic input element in HTML. So let's get started. So first of all, let's have a look about some of the forms which we have. Like whenever you are like logging in or registering for a website, you might have filled up some form which is built by the input and the button and the form like element in HTML. So as you can see, I am inside of the GitHub like .com, and here this is one form, right? And if I go to sign up, as you can see, this is the form which we have, and it has the validation as well, which we will look a little bit. Without JavaScript, the form validation is not that much sophisticated. Like inside of the HTML, we can just mark one of the like the inputs like required, that's all. But if I just open up the DevTools here, let's just close it up and just inspect that. As you can see, there is one element which is called form element, and inside of that there are the inputs and there are a bunch of things, so on and so forth. We will learn about all of that. Again, let's go to Wikipedia, and here as you can see, there is another form which is the search form. So yeah, this is basically how the forms looks inside of HTML, and most of the time inside of the form we will have the input and also we will have a submit button as well, where like something like this, right? Or something like this continue button here inside of the GitHub. Okay, all right, so let's start. So what I have done, I have just created one other like HTML file and just put up all of the previous one, like the images and so on and so forth, which we have learned. You can do the same as well to keep track of everything which we are learning currently right now, but it is not necessary. All right, so here we have this blank like HTML file once again. Okay, now to create the form element, we will have a look in the form element in a later video, but for this video what we will do, we will like just create the input element in HTML. How we can do that? So in HTML we have the input tag to create the input element. So, and it is a self closing tag as well. So input something like this, and we can close it out something like that. Now this input element can have multiple type. What do I mean by that? There are a bunch of input elements. The most common one which you see most of the places is the text type. So I can pass the attribute which is type, and if I just do control and space, as you can see there are a bunch of type here, like this button, checkbox, color, date time, locale, email, file, hidden, image, so on and so forth. There are a bunch of things. Like we have the password as well. We will be going through many of them inside of the upcoming videos, but for now the most common text field which is of type text, right? Okay, so yeah, this is basically input type text. If I just save it and go to the browser, as you can see there is our input, and which is not doing anything, but we can write, and inside of the input it is visible as well, which is nice. Now I know this input is very ugly currently right now, so we can definitely like override the basic styles, and I'm not sure we will be doing that or not, but we can make something like this sign up page, something like that inside of the CSS as well, like with the help of HTML and CSS, not only CSS but HTML and CSS. So we can add styles, we can add like the alignment and so on and so forth, this like this blue border when I am selecting the input and so on. So those all of the things we can do by using CSS. So when we will be learning about CSS, we will definitely do those. Okay, so yes, so this is the basic input. So this is basically that. Now what I can do, I can create another input as well, something like this. So let's have some comments around those, and let's like create something similar to the GitHub login and sign up form. So for this one, what we need like a name field and the like what do you call the email field, right? Let's do that. Or what we have here, let's just check. We have the email, password, and the username. So let's create both, like every one of them, what is necessary inside of the GitHub as well. So okay, so for the first one, we have the username. Okay, for the second one, we can have the email. And now for the email input, there is a special input inside of HTML which is of type email, okay, which is this one. And after that, what we can do, we can have a password input as well. So we can do password, and here input, and type of it will be password. And please make sure to have the type on the input tags, all of the input tags here, right? It is necessary to have the type of the input, which will be very helpful. Okay, so if I just save it here, if I go to the browser, so there are 3 input elements, and as you can see, input element is the inline element. That is why this 3 inputs are side by side. If those were the block element, something like this h1, then the 3 inputs which we have currently right now should be on the separate lines, which it is not. So these are inline element. Okay, now I cannot currently show what is the significance of the email, because like the type email, because what will happen if I just do something like this, this will be like normal text box, right? So there are no difference currently right now, because I am not able to show it to you. Once we will be learning about the forms and submitting the forms and capturing the data, then it will be more visible. Basically what happens is that inside of the input, which is of type email, you have to provide something like this pattern, @google.com. So this pattern of the emails, which basically is a valid email pattern, has to be provided inside of the email field, otherwise the form will not be submitted. But in this inside of the text field, this is not necessary. You can type anything you want. And inside of the password field, right, inside of the password field, if I do something like 1 2 3, as you can see, these are like hidden from us, right? This password is hidden from us. So this is the password field. Let's do one other thing. Let's have a field with the age. Let's do that. So age, right? And the age should be type of number, right? So input of type number. Okay, so yeah. And if I go here inside of the browser once again, so okay, this is, never mind this. So this input is a little bit special, because what is happening here, we have these two up and down arrows, and here I cannot type any text, it has to be number. So if I do 10, this is valid. So this is how you use the input which only accepts the like number. But inside of the text, which is the first one, we can just do anything like number, text, some symbols, anything we can have here. So yeah, so in this video we have learned about like 1 2 3 4 types of inputs. There are much more types of inputs, but which we will be definitely discussing in the later videos. Awesome. So in the next video, what we will be doing, we will be learning about the button, because currently we have the input, but we do not have a way to like submit the form. Basically, when we will be having the form element, we will be able to submit that, but we do not have this button right now, right? And this button click will trigger the form submit. So before learning the form element, we have to learn about the button element in HTML.